Hey everybody, welcome back to Let's Play Donkey Kong 64. In this episode, we're going to be getting Lanky Kong out of the tag barrel. And dropping into Angry Aztec. If you recall, last episode we finished up everything that Tiny and Lanky both had to do in Jungle Japes. In this episode, we're actually going to be coming here to Angry Aztec and doing everything that they have to do here as well. First things first, though, we've got to go over to Candy Kong's and pick up Lanky's instrument, because without it, we're not going to get very far. Yes, for 3 coins, we can get a brand new instrument. The trombone tremor. I'm going to skip Candy's dialogue because it works exactly the same as every other instrument in this game. Z up C kills every enemy within hearing range and activates special switches and such. So, with Lanky's instrument now, we can, let me see, yeah, we want to go up here. There is a switch on one side of this palace. I can't remember exactly which one. Is it this one? Yep, there it is. That we want to hit, and we can go inside this temple. So that's what I mean about the messy hitboxes in this game. I've mentioned it a couple of times, but the hitboxes do get a little bit messy, especially around, especially whenever you go into first person, because it doesn't always show things that are actually blocking where you're shooting from. I don't know exactly, you know, I'm not a game hacker, I can't tell you exactly where the bullets come from when you go into first person, but it'll look like you have a clean shot when you really don't. That's the way to put it. Now, there's much more to do in this temple with Tiny than there is with either any of the other Kongs here, but there are a couple of things that we can do with Lanky while we're here. I want to do these real quick. Got some bananas around the back. There's also a battle arena pad, which we can't use because you can't stand on it and press Z. Obviously, you can't stand on it. And we can't stand on it since we don't have, well, we can't, it's underwater, that's what I mean to say. Go ahead and hit this switch, and that releases a vulture with a golden banana. This is one reason why Lanky has been turned to sniper at the Kong clan is because he has a few minigames that have to do with shooting precise targets from a distance without much help, at least at this part of the game. Later on in the game, we will be getting a couple of upgrades that will help this sort of mission tremendously, including an upgrade to our ammunition that'll like make things like this 100,000 times easier. But for now, we just basically got to get our timing right and be able to hit that tiny itty-bitty hitbox that thing has, which actually is totally unfair because not only is the hitbox small and awkward to start with, but it gets smaller every time you actually hit it. I guess Lanky's grapes have some sort of magical shrinking property. I mean, I guess it's a cool effect that they can do that, but still. Bugs me. Go ahead and grab that. Lanky automatically drops to the bottom of the pool. Vulture falls, and the water drains out of this room for some inexplicable reason. And since it does that, we can go ahead and hit this. Now, if I remember correctly, the banana pads can be accessed by any Kong in any level. There aren't any that are going to be inaccessible to some and accessible by others, like that Banana Fairy was in the first level that only Lanky could really reach. Most of them are going to be you're going to be able to get to any of them from anywhere. These sections of the games are much, much louder than everything else. I don't know if you guys have noticed that, but the battle arenas are definitely a lot louder. Sound effects, music, and all. But this one is actually just as easy, if not easier, than the first one. They're going to get harder later on, though, because we're going to be facing tougher and tougher enemies for longer amounts of time. But since we got the crown, we got Lanky's bananas in this area, we got a golden banana, we're just gonna head on out, because that's all we have to do with Lanky here, actually. Very, very simple. Like I said, we're gonna have to do, oops, wrong way. We're gonna have to do a lot more here with Tiny, but, which makes sense considering that this is where we unlocked her. Following that same logic, though, there's gonna be more for Lanky to do in the temple that he was unlocked in. Die. Okay, looks like we got some banana coins over here. Might as well pick those up, why not? Replace the ones that we spent to candies. Now, I did say a couple of videos ago that all of the Kongs unlocked their powers at roughly the same time. That was not true. Lanky and Tiny get theirs a bit slower, at least their second and third powers from Cranky, a bit slower than the other Kongs do. I'm just gonna go ahead and check in here for anything. Their second ability from Cranky's, both of theirs, don't come until, I believe, the next level. And, their, third doesn't come for a while after that, so... Diddy and Donkey's, they all unlock their third power at about the same time, I believe, but... Diddy and Donkey's are gonna skip the next level in terms of actually getting a power-up. But, Lanky and Tiny have already got theirs, so... Lanky and Tiny are going to get theirs then, and Diddy and Donkey won't. That's what I mean to say. I'm having a hard time putting together coherent sentences tonight. I apologize. I'm just going to keep on blabbering about odd things all night, I have a feeling. So, we got a grape switch over on this side. This is the temple where we found Lanky, if you remember correctly, the Llama Temple. We'll go ahead and head inside here, because this is actually where a good deal of Lanky's stuff in this level is. Most of it, a lot of his bananas, and at least 2 of his golden bananas as well. And you see we got bananas going up, down the stairs on this side. We also got some on the other side. Again, we have the purple claptraps, which drive me nuts. I hate them. We also have, I think it's up here, that we have a music pad for him. Yep. Grab this ammo while I'm at it, because, like I said, every time you restart the game, all of your items get halved. Which, if you're doing this game in as few sittings as possible, like I am, that's not much of a problem, because you can always just, you know, find a banana fairy and take a picture, and then you automatically refill on everything. But it isn't always that easy, especially when you get to the later levels that you have to do in multiple sessions. I'm going to try to do Tiny's and Lanky's stuff in this level as quickly as possible. I'm thinking, just like Jungle Japes, I'm going to split it up in more than one video, especially with Tiny's stuff, because I know there's one banana in Tiny's video that's going to take me a long time to get.
Bonus stage.
Anyway, this is Teetering Turtle Trouble. Keep the turtles spinning by feeding the snakes melons. Press A to fire a melon. Simple enough. Just start on the top, go top left, bottom. I try to go left to right. Every time you snap to the middle, refill. That's the thing. Your control. It automatically resets your control stick to the center, where you can refill on melons just by pressing A. You want to try to keep up a constant flow of melons in the air while you're doing this, because it might not look that hard right now, but believe me, getting a rhythm down on the easier ones is going to be very, very helpful for you later on. This game is one of the ones that we'll be finding throughout this game, and will actually become very, very hard as the game goes on. Not the hardest minigame, not by a long shot, but it is hard. So yeah, that's fairly easy. You just have to get into a good rhythm. You know, just start in the middle, go left to right on the top, go to the middle again, go left to right on the bottom, repeat. As long as you can get yourself into a good rhythm, you're gonna be okay with that game. You just gotta practice it. You can practice that game. Some mini games can actually be practiced on the main menu through the extras screen, I believe. After you unlock certain things in, I think it's after you beat them in story mode, as well as something, I think there's another prerequisite for it. But you can only practice minigames where you can't actually see the Kong that you're using, like the one that we just played. So games like Mad Maze Mall, where you can actually see the Kong that you're using, are off limits. Don't ask me why, but that's the way it is. I guess it's because they couldn't figure out how to program it, but that doesn't make any sense to me. Maybe they only programmed specific parameters in each level for different Kongs, for different minigames, but even that doesn't make much sense. I would think that it's more or less interchangeable, right? I don't know, maybe I guess it's just I don't understand much about programming games like this, but anyway, we have a switch back here. Go ahead and hit that. Open the doors. Now these stores stay open, you don't have to worry about them closing on you. So you just take both of these guys out. And that causes some vines to appear. Which, you know, those aren't... You don't have to do that necessarily, but you're going to want to do that for what we've got to do anyway. I'm not going to use the vines right now, instead I'm going to hit this switch. And this starts yet another shooting minigame for Lanky. The idea is to match the heads with the different sounds. So, let me give you an example. See this head right here? Hit it with a grape, and it makes that sound. Now, you can also see that there are heads with the same colors, like these two side by side are the same colors. Let me hit this one. See, they kind of tricky with that, is that the ones that match are always the same colors, but they're not always necessarily the ones that are closest together. But, like, see, the yellow ones are the same two sounds. All four yellow ones are the same two sounds. So, if you have... you know, if you have a computer or a TV that's bright enough to be able to actually see differences like that, then this minigame is not that hard. But if you're playing it like what I was when I first played this game, on a TV where this was almost all I could see of the monkey heads were the ones in the very center, then the differences are minuscule, and you have to pretty much go purely by the sound and trial and error. Go ahead and, once you finish the minigame, the golden banana drops, go ahead and grab it, then we can go ahead and collect the rest of the goodies in here as well. Yeah, Lanky's, like I said, he's one of my favorite Kongs in this game, just because he's so different. There's no other Kong really like him in any of the Donkey Kong games. You know, he's just one that's almost impossible to take seriously. Donkey Kong has his goofy moments, but in this game he plays the serious hero, more or less, except for in the first area where he kind of talks in home speak. But, Lanky's sort of almost the... Like I said, he's the clown of the group. He's even got a red nose. It's kind of hard to tell, but he does have a bit of a red nose. Grab some more ammo. He's sort of like the comic relief of the Kong clan. Anyway, just like with the other temple, there's stuff in here that we have to do with Tiny as well, but I'm going to wait to do that until after we finished everything in this level that we can do off with Lanky. Because I like my continuity. There's some bananas over here that I want to grab as well. You might think, why are there banana ports inside of this level? And it doesn't make much sense to me. Well, I'll tell you why. It's because this level can actually... There's a tag barrel back over there where we just were with Lanky. This level cannot be accessed initially by all Kongs, but all Kongs are able to walk around inside of the temple. Which means that there are certain Kongs who will be able to get certain items that can only be accessed by other Kongs. You know, the areas that they can be... the areas that they can go can only be accessed by other Kongs. So, for instance, there's something in there that Tiny has to do to find one of the other banana ports that allows Lanky to reach his blueprint. That's where Lanky's blueprint is in there. But obviously, like I said, we can't reach it. So we're gonna have to wait until Tiny does her thing to be able to actually get that. Now, for brevity's sake, I'm going to try to do Lanky's bits as fast as I can, so that we can actually finish this level with Lanky and then move on to Tiny's stuff. I'm gonna try to. It's definitely gonna be more than one video for the two of them, but for Tiny's stuff, I think it's gonna be most of her golden bananas except one, and then also backtracking with Lanky to get his blueprint since Tiny has to unlock it for him. Yeah. We're gonna go over to that, to the 5 Kong temple, because that's where his, Lanky's last golden banana is. I think we have 3. I could have just crossed that on on those trees, but I'm too lazy. Tiny's just got bananas and stuff littering this place. It's just gonna be fun to take out here because, you know, if all of their stuff is out in the open, we don't have to go searching for it. There is something on top of this temple, if I remember correctly, but I don't remember who it's for. Oh yeah, Diddy's got some bananas here. Let's see, is there something else up here? It doesn't look like it. I don't know why Diddy has bananas there. There's nothing... I guess they're figuring maybe you fell off the top of the temple after you slammed his switch on top of it. I'll just have to remember that those are there for when I come back, for when I do this level. Or I might get those off screen, I don't know. Maybe not. There's a tag barrel right down at the foot of the temple. I'll probably get them after I finish this. This is another area that shows in the demo if you wait on the start screen for this game. Is this particular part of this temple with Lanky. I'm not exactly sure why. Maybe it's because this is like the one time in the game where Lanky is in an area that can actually be taken seriously. But I don't know. Maybe it's just for the atmosphere. There we go, 75. We only got 25 bananas left to find with Lanky. Some of them are going to be in that area that I said we couldn't unlock quite yet. Take that. Yeah, and you notice that these guys, if you watch their idle animation, if you stand around and watch them, they actually eat their own grenades. They'll throw them up and then eat them. Then they'll explode. Then their belly will explode, which is kind of gross. But it also fits. You can also see that idle animation in the intro video. They use it during k.rool's admonishing his minions. So go ahead and jump in this bonus barrel. Lanky seems to have more bonus barrels than almost any other Kong. I don't know what it is about that. But anyway, this is Big Bug Bash. This is another one that you can practice if you want. It's fairly simple. You just have to use the control stick to move the swatter, and then press A to swing it. The thing is that the swatter cannot reach every part of this barrel. You cannot reach the very bottom part. And the timing is always going to be off just a bit because the fly is actually almost completely randomized. And he'll keep flying faster the longer he stays on the screen. So you want to try to get into a combo where you can smash more than one at once at the very beginning. But you see how the fly swatter's handle is there? There's actually a bottom part of the barrel that it cannot reach, which means that you can easily be screwed out of getting that game done properly just by the fact that way that it's actually designed, which can make it extremely frustrating. It is one of the harder mini games in this game. It's not the hardest. Again, there's another mini game that we haven't seen yet that's even harder, but it is definitely rather frustrating. Okay, it looks like I'm up to about 18 minutes. I'm actually going to go ahead and grab those bananas with Diddy, and then we'll end this video off. Because, like I said, I wanted to split Lanky and Tiny's duties here in this level into 2 different videos. So, we're going to go ahead and do that. I'm going to get I'm getting Diddy out and go grab those bananas with him, since we somehow missed those when we were initially going through this level with Diddy. Now, see, that's another thing, another rather clumsy hitbox is those rail, that path for some reason. The sand always seems to just barely reach up over that bit, and it'll tag you if you're walking right on the edge. So you want to try to stay in the middle as much as possible. And anyway, I also saw some more collectibles that we can get with Lanky. I'm going to make sure to get those before I forget them, and then we'll end the video off, okay? I know this is probably kind of boring and monotonous for you guys, but really, this is what this game is all about, is being a collectathon. That's why this game has the reputation it does. But it's really why I enjoy it, is because it's a collectathon game. I'm gonna go ahead and scale this tree, because I have a feeling that there are some bananas up here. Yep. So we've got 75, 80, there's gonna be 85 right there, and then we'll just be missing 10. Ah, there's 5 more right there, so we'll just actually be missing 5. And I know exactly where those are. Those will be where Lanky's blueprint is. Or no, we'll still be missing 10. What am I thinking? I don't know what I'm saying. Apparently I can't form sentences properly tonight, and I can't do math either. So, whatever. Anyway, we've got almost all of Lanky's stuff done in this level, and we can't really do everything quite now, so I'm just gonna let you guys off now. Let you guys off easy, I suppose. And in the next part, we'll be coming back to this level with Tiny, and collecting most of her stuff as well. Again, with her, we're actually gonna be missing 1 banana on purpose, and we'll be doing that one in a separate video, okay? So, I'll be seeing you guys next time on Let's Play Donkey Kong 64. See you all then.